Hi, I'm Carrie Sambira. I am the single ventricle nurse practitioner here at Texas Children's Hospital.
Hi.
Good morning, y'all.
Good morning. Hi.
So as a single ventricle nurse practitioner, I take care of children with what we would call congenital heart disease that has one single ventricle. And what that would mean was when the heart is developing, one of the ventricles, either the right or the left, just doesn't fully develop. And usually that's what we would call congenital, or that happens in utero. So it's something that the baby is born with. So part of my job is to meet these families again very early on and to help them through their interstage period, or their most vulnerable period once they're diagnosed. A typical day, I would come in, and usually I spend some time talking to the medical team, kind of figuring out what's been going on with these patients for the last day or so. And then I will go and meet with the families, and I'll talk to the families, see how they're doing, see how their child is doing, make sure that they're comfortable with the plan that's been carried out and that they have a good understanding of what's going on with their child. Sometimes these diagnoses can be very overwhelming, and some of the information that we give them can be a lot at one time. Once the child leaves the ICU, they'll go to one of our acute care units that takes care of our cardiology patients. And then the families are really getting ready to take the baby home. That's the whole point of coming to that unit sometimes, is just to get the families ready to go home. And I help with the education, tell them what they're gonna need to watch for at home, tell them what they need to kind of carefully look out for once they are at home. Once they're discharged, we still follow them very closely. So most of our patients will actually come to clinic weekly, which we know is a big ask, but again, these are a pretty fragile patient population, so we wanna make sure we follow them very closely in single ventricle clinic. Single ventricle clinic really monitors the interstage monitoring, or it's the time period between their first surgery and their second surgery. It's really when they're the most vulnerable, and we just want to make sure that they're watched very closely during that time period, and that the families have a good understanding of what they need to be watching for at home as well. I've actually been at Texas Children's for a long time. I've been here for 20 years. And during that time, I've had many different roles here at the hospital. Before this role, I was actually part of the leadership team in the cardiovascular ICU. And one of the things that I missed was really a lot of the patient and family interactions. So when this job opportunity came available, I really did think that I had something to offer these families. So now that I've been in this role for a while, I get some of these kiddos, we start to develop some relationships, and you kind of start to monitor them longitudinally. And I have a couple patients now that can actually walk, which is fun, but also it's great when they see you and they smile and they'll come up and they'll give you a big hug. And that's why I do this role. That is what makes this role unique from all the other roles that I've had here at Texas Children's. I wanted to be a part of something great, and to me, that always meant the Heart Center here at Texas Children's.